Hi friends, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. Ashish here, and today I'll be covering a puzzle genre called Tasquare Puzzle. Now this puzzle comes into the shading puzzle category, and so this puzzle is featured in the recent Puzzle Ramayana contest authored by Nityant Agarwal, which contains the number placement category puzzles and puzzle.link category puzzles. So puzzle.link category puzzles are puzzles which are available on puzzle.link but are not very famous in the outer world, I would say. So kind of Tasquare puzzle, you wouldn't have heard about it. Screen puzzle and Shimaguni puzzle. Shimaguni we have already covered on our channel, so you can look out for a video on Shimaguni puzzle on how to solve some tips and tricks. So today I'll be covering a video on Tasquare puzzle, and in coming days, maybe in a day or two, I'll cover a video on screen puzzle as well. So if you are really looking forward to give the contest, please check the videos on how to solve these puzzles easily, and then maybe you can give the contest. So I'm sure that Nityant Agarwal is an excellent author, and I'm sure all of his puzzles are really good, right? So you'll enjoy the contest. So I'll add the link in the description below for the contest page. Do check out, and you can give the contest within these 6 days. So I think so the contest has started today, so within these 6 days you can give the contest anytime, right? So before going to the puzzle, I would highly recommend you to please subscribe to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles if you haven't done so. It will really motivate us to cover videos on daily basis, and if at all you have a request for any Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, do let us know in the comment below, and we'll surely make a video on it. And now coming back to these puzzles, so I'll be solving two Tasquare puzzles, and both of these are by Eric Fox. So Eric Fox is an excellent puzzle author, I would say. I have taken both of these puzzles from his blog. So there is a blog where Eric Fox features all of his puzzles there, and I'll add the link in the description below of the Eric's blog page as well. You should surely check out the blog page. Excellent puzzles, excellently designed, and theme is always good. The way he creates puzzles, the themes are really excellent, right? So now coming back to the puzzle now. So you need to shade some cells in the grid in such a way that the shaded cells form a square, right? And so for example, you can shade these cells, you can shade these cells, or maybe a 3 by 3 box, anything, even a single box is allowed, right? And no two squares of shaded cells, right, can touch each other orthogonally, and the clue indicates the number of shaded cells touching orthogonally to that number, right? So for example, if you have 5 here, you'll have 4 here and 1 here, right? So you have 4 shaded cells touching the orthogonal, touching the side of one side of the orthogonal of a 5, and one more cell adding to 5 shaded cells, right? So for the 10, maybe you can have 4, 4, 2 is not possible, 9 and 1, something like that. So 9 plus 1 is 10. For this 10, you need one more cell here to get the 10 sum, right? So that is what the numbers indicate, right? Clue cells cannot be shaded and represents the total size of shaded squares that share an edge with the clue. And if a clue has no number, so there might be a possibility that you don't have any number in the clue, which means at least one shaded cell should have to be orthogonal to the unclued cell, right? And one more rule is that all of the unshaded cells, the white cells, will have to be orthogonally connected to each other, which means that you cannot have a this kind of pattern here, because see, the 5 is fulfilled here, but there are two white cells which are stranded inside an area. Not possible. So this is possible, of course, right? This is possible, and maybe for example this is also possible, because this also counts as an unshaded cell, and you have a path touching all the other orthogonally unshaded cells, right? So I'll again brief you with the rules again. So shade some cells so that each orthogonal connected area of shaded cells is in the shape of square, and the remaining unshaded cell form one orthogonal connected area, right? And clued cells cannot be shaded and represents the total size of the shaded squares that share an edge to the clue number. And if a clue has no number, it must share an edge with at least one shaded cell. And with that, we should start solving this puzzle. So the first thing that you do in this puzzle is try to split the squares for every number. So for example, 10, each number has only exactly 3 orthogonal sides, right? In which means you cannot have 4 4 and 1 1, right? You cannot have 2 4 and 2 1s. So that means you will need 4 sides, 4 orthogonal sides, not possible, right? So which means 10 would have to be 9 and 1, right? So 1 square of 3 into 3 and 1 square of 1 into 1. For 8 you cannot have 9 into 9. So the next minimum value after 9 into 9, I mean to say after 3 into 3, that is 9, is 2 into 2, 4, which means you will have 2 4 into 4, right? So you can have here or anywhere, you will have 2 4 into 4, right? You can still have here, no, here or here, you are not sure of it, right? And again for the 10 is 9 and 1. So can you see that for this 10, for both of these 10, there is only one place where a 3 by 3 box can be placed, not here, not here, at least here. So it cannot go up, because then one will get contradicted. So it is only this box or this box, but this 10 gets stranded now. There is no way to place a 3 by 3 box for this 10, which means for this 10 there is only one place, and this is that is done, right? Okay, so we will mark the problem with the mouse, guys, right? Okay, so that is done. It's not working. Okay, so this is done. I'll try not to mark the dots here. So I've just marked the dots in the case that you get to know that now these cells cannot be shaded, because you already form a square and no other square can orthogonally touch another square, right? Now which means this 10 requires 1, this 10 requires 1 more, this 10 requires 1, and this 10 requires 1 more, right? Because this 10 already has a 1 here, this 10 cannot have a 1 here, you will need to have a square. So which means this 10 will have here. Done, easy, right? And next, coming back to the other part of the grid, I can see that this 2 can be divided, split, we can split this into 2 1 by 1 shaded cell, right? And both of these cannot be the shaded cells, because then you will have a stranded white cell here, which means this would have to be the shaded cell at least, right? So it's not working. Okay, so this would have to be the shaded cell, which means for this 2, this and this would have to be the shaded cell, which means for this 2 you'll have one more, that is this one, right? Okay, for this okay, for this 8 now, for the 8 at the start we had 3 possibilities. Now 3 possibilities for 4 into 2 into 2, 4 shaded cells. Now we have only 2 possibilities, and both of these would have to be the case, right? Okay, and which means this 4 is done, this 8 is done. Okay, for this 2, both of these cannot be shaded, then you will have a white cell stranded in between, so at least this would have to be the one. For this 2, these 2, and for this 2, this is the only one remaining. Now if you see here, what an excellently designed puzzle this is, because there is no way you can have a shaded cell inside these white cells now, because anywhere you have a shaded cell will give you a contradiction. So this puzzle becomes a unique one, even with the this much white area in between. So there was a possibility of being it a non-unique if you were able to place one shaded cell anywhere in this white area, but I can see that you cannot place any more shaded cells here, right? Now for this 5, these 4s cannot be the shaded cell. For this 5 it will have to be this 4, for this 5 one more is this and this, for this one is this and this, right? Easy, because of course you cannot have this one, because you will have a rectangle here, you cannot form a rectangle, you need to form a square. For this 2, again the same logic, both of these cannot be shaded, so at least this would have to be shaded, and here exactly 2 more shaded cells remaining, 2 more possibilities for this 2 and 1 for this. Okay, so for this 5 you will have only one possibility for the 4 into 4 2 into 2 shaded cell, that is this, and one more cell is this. Okay, for this 5, you have only one possibility for a 2 into 2 shaded cell. It cannot be this, it cannot be this, it would have to be this, right? And which means for this 5, one more cell would have to be this. Okay, and for this 5, you have two possibilities for a single shaded cell, either this or this, right? And if I don't have this cell and if I have this cell, you have a group of white cells stranded inside the top left area, which means it would have to be this cell and this cell. And I think so we have completed this puzzle. Excellent. What an excellent introductory puzzle to this genre, Tasquare puzzle. And let us go with the second puzzle now, right? So let us see the second puzzle now. Maybe I can increase the area a bit so that it will be easy for you to have a, okay, so yeah, so this is the second puzzle now. Nice, because I could see there is a 25 here. 25 cannot be, you can have a 9 into 9, a 3 into 3, I'm sorry, you can have a 3 into 3, that is 9, and then if you have 2 4 into 4, no, not possible. You can, okay, so one would have to be 4 into 4, that is 16 shaded cells, and other would have to be 9 into 9, 3 into 3, that is 9 shaded cells, so that sums to 25, right? And which means both of the area, so if you see here now in this puzzle, one would have to be 4 into 4, other would have to be 3 into 3, that is 9 and 16. So in both the cases the common area is 3 into 3, so both the 4 into 4 and 3 into 3 would have 3 into 3 at least. And how many places we can have a 3 into 3? You need at least 3 into 3 areas connected to a 25, right? So it cannot have this, cannot have this, can have this or this. Okay, so I think so there are only two places for a 3 into 3, because what I see here is, let us, okay, so you cannot have this this area, you cannot have, you can have this area or this area, but the moment you have this area, the second 3 into 3 box is not possible for us to be placed. So you will have this 3 into 3 and another would have to be this 3 into 3. There is no other way you can have 2 3 into 3 areas connected to a 25, right? So which means all of these would have to be unshaded, right? Okay, even these. Okay, that's nice. For the 6, I see that you'll have 1 2 into 2, which is 4 cells, and 2 1 by 1, right? Which means all the 4 cells cannot be used, there will be 3 cells used. But if you see here, 4 by 4 cannot be here, so there will be a 4 by 4 either this way or this way, and in both the ways this would have to be shaded, which means both 1 into 1 would have to be these cells. That's nice. Okay, okay, so for the 25 I see that one of these cells would have to be, one of the shaded area will have to be 4 into 4, right? If you take any such cell of 4 into 4, let us take this cell. No, okay, one way to see that is, for the 2 you cannot have this cell as shaded, because what happens here is, now you eliminate this cell being a 4 into 4 and this cell would have to be 4 into 4, and you have white cells stranded in between, right? So for the 2, this is not the cell, both of these are the cells here, right? Same way for the 1, this cannot be the cell, because then you eliminate this area for 4 into 4 and this area becomes the 4 into 4. The same logic, you get white cell stranded in between. So for the 1 you cannot have this, you cannot have this as well, so it would have to be this. Okay, okay, that's a very good logic here. For the 5 you will have either this or this, and in both the cases this area cannot be a 4 into 4. So that means this area would have to be 4 into 4. For the 2, these 2 are the cells, and for this 5, okay, it can be anything. So for this 5, okay, I see that for the 6 here you have 2 possibilities, right? Either this or this. If I take this possibility, this becomes the 4 possibility, and you have a one shaded cell for the 5 here. You get a white area stranded in between, right? So which means for the 6 it would have to be this possibility. No more shaded cell can come here. Let us see that. For the 5 it would have to be this and this possibility, which means no more shaded cell can come here. For this 5 it would have to be this possibility, and one more cell would have to be this. And oh wow, with that we complete this gorgeous, excellent another puzzle by Eric Fox. So I hope this is a really excellent genre, very easy one, simple rules. Just white cells would have to be connected to each other, will have to form squares orthogonally not touching each other, and the number indicates the number of black cells touching the clue, right, the number clue. So very easy, simple puzzle genre, but can be, you can have a scope of very good logics here. The one that we saw here, 3 into 3, 3 into 3 box would have to be somewhere with the 25, and finding the places would be a really excellent logic. So I hope you enjoyed the puzzle. So it would be easy for you to now try the contest puzzles, Tasquare, and stay tuned for the screen puzzle as well. So I'll be covering a video tomorrow on screen puzzle as well. I'll not delay much because the contest is already started, and stay tuned for the screen puzzle. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Do like and comment if you want us to solve any other Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Thank you.